How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Between the Numbers Sports Podcast. I'm your host Daryl, and we're gonna be talking about how Alabama yet again dominates this soft LSU's defense. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, I first want to say um, I hope everything is well with Jaden Daniels. Right? Hopefully he can bounce back from this injury. I know that Brian Kelly and the LSU medical staff was taking some heat for how they managed um, Jaden Daniels' injury, but all of that is water under the bridge. I just hope that Jaden Daniels is you know well and he won't have any long term effects from that hit, which clearly should have been targeting, but it's Alabama. Anyways, yeah, man. So I did a previous episode um, talking about why I thought why I thought LSU would win a close game. But at first, it was looking that way, right? I thought because LSU had such a powerful offense, right, that it would be able to get out to a lead. Um, I thought the defense would be able to stop Alabama one or two times, right? And then LSU would be able to go back downfield on offense and score again. Get a decent lead, a comfortable lead, and be able to keep Alabama, at bay, and which would allow LSU to sneak out not an easy victory because it's never easy playing an elite team like Alabama, but sneak out a hard fought win, pretty much. But that was not the case. Um, the defense couldn't stop anyone, right? And mainly Alabama's running back, right? The kid had four rushing touchdowns. Um, you know, he had a rushing touchdown where he got to the perimeter, right? And it just seems like the safety, none of those guys, right, wanted to even tackle him. Right? He had four rushing touchdowns. Brian Kelly said in his press conference, a reporter asked him, did he think that all of those runs that Alabama quarterback got was that designed draw plays? And Brian Kelly said, no, those was just him improvising with his legs, right? And Brian Kelly said that their defense approach to that game was um, a unit rush, which means because Wingo, right, the best defensive lineman on our team was out, it would take. Well, that's not just because of him being out, but him being gone was a huge factor in the middle. But it would take a whole unit, all 11 people on defense, to be in their proper positions, right, during run fits, having disciplined eyes, right, and having leverage, right, and that wasn't the case. Guys was taking bad angles. There's a play where Omar Spates, right? You can see the play. I was looking at it. Um, the quarterback, gets the snap. The quarterback from Alabama gets the snap. He fakes it to the running back. The running back uh, goes to the left, right, and Spates is following the running back the whole time, and he pretty much falls for the running back. Falls for that fake, which now Omar Spates is out of position, and the running back has it, right. And he goes around to the right side, and there's nobody home, right? There's nobody home. Um, we're not good at linebacker, right? Our best linebacker is Harold Perkins. We're not good at linebacker, and we're not good in a defensive secondary, right? We was already down a bunch of guys, right? LSU wasted a scholarship on Denver Harris, and LSU also wasted a scholarship on Deuce Chestnut, right? Both of those guys seem like I mean, both of them are assholes, right? They can't just keep their nose clean. They can't just focus on being a student athlete and football. It seems like they're doing every other thing besides playing football and going to school. So we went in there, shorthanded anyways, and it showed, right? Had a bunch of freshmen, um, all over the field for LSU in the secondary. We're just not good in the secondary, right? Matt House is not a very good defensive coordinator, right? And we just didn't do enough. We just didn't do enough. We could have won that game, right? Um, you know, definitely after LSU got that penalty, that kind of took the wind out of the sails. But then when Jaden Daniels got hit, um, it was a turnover, a penalty, the hit, right? That should have been a targeting call, right? Once that happened, the wind left the sails of LSU, right? And then next thing you know, Alabama score again, and it's over with, right? That in the fourth quarter, Alabama was able to take over 7 minutes off the clock, not giving LSU much time to rally, and that was the end of it. Like I said, hats off to the LSU offense, right? I think Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the country. I'm biased. I'm an LSU fan. I think we have the best offensive line in the country, right? And we have some of the best wide receivers in the country, if not the best wide receiver room in the country, right? I know it's going to be a toss up between Ohio State and Washington State, right? They got some good wide receivers there. Obviously, Florida State, right? I can't forget about Florida State. Their wide receivers had a field day with the soft LSU secondary and defense. But what I'm trying to say is, I feel like 2 great years of Jaden Daniels, right, and these wide receivers have been wasted because after this season, right, LSU's now what, um, 6-3, 7-3, or whatever. Um, is it? We're gonna get a some random bowl game. Some of the players are not gonna want to play in it because it doesn't mean anything. Um, we're not gonna go to SEC championship. The only way we're gonna do that is like Alabama lose um, pretty much all the rest of their games because they got one loss, and that's it. Jaden Daniels is gonna go to the pros. Malik Neighbors is gonna go to the pros. Brian Thomas Jr. is gonna go to the pros, and that's it. I don't know what we don't know what these wide receivers coming in behind them can do, right? The only positive is that we our offensive line thankfully is going to still be intact because Will Campbell and I forgot the other kid's name, right? They're young, they're still young guys, right? They started as true freshmen, and we got another very talented true freshman, that big old kid. I think his last name is Hurd. Um, he's a true freshman. He's been playing a lot, so the offensive line is still going to be intact. But um, me personally, I like Newsmeyer. I just don't see it. I don't see the it factor in Newsmeyer. I know he can throw that thing all down the field, but I don't know. I don't like his decision making. Um, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I think we wasted a great offense. Um, Hell, last year and this year. I mean, the offense was good last year, but they was even better this season, right? They was elite this season. So I think we wasted um 2 years of great offense because we had um a pathetic defense, right? Pathetic defense. Um, so that's that. Um, again, Wingo was out, right? But Mason Smith was in the game. Mason Smith played, and I'm just gonna say this, man. Mason Smith is overrated to me. He's overrated. I mean, he's overrated. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, he's trying to work his way back from injury. What is this? Is this like his 6 or 7 game? Like, well, he missed the first game, right? So this would be. I mean, he's played multiple games now. He's a college football player, D1 at a major D1 school, LSU. He should be back in shape now. But I mean, what did he do yesterday, right? People are gonna say, "Oh, he probably was double team." Okay, he was double team, but you're supposed to be a projected first round draft pick in NFL. Split the double team. Aaron Donald does it all the time. Um, Jordan Davis does it all the time. Other people in college football do it all the time. Your team needed you on defense. They needed you up front, right? And you didn't step up in the moment. You didn't step up in the moment. You didn't. They was just running the ball right down LSU's throat, right? He's overrated. When do you see Mason Smith jumping off the screen at you? Right? Okay. They played against Army. It's Army, bro. It's Army. And he didn't jump off the screen to me versus Army either. He's not jumping off the screen. He's not. He's overrated. All right. Nothing against him. Sometimes, you're the biggest kid on your high school football team. Hell, in your sorry, you're one of the biggest kids in your district, right? Even versus other teams. Sorry. And you do very good. And then LSU come calling. You from Louisiana, which is a big deal. You go to your state school, the best school in the state, and you come in with a lot of hype. And sometimes you're just not, you don't live up to it, right? We know that there's levels to it, right? You may be good in park ball, right? Little league ball. And then when you get to middle school, you're still okay, but there's people better than you. And then you get to, you know, high school, and there's people that's definitely better than you, or you're better than them. And then when you get to college, that's when you realize you're like, damn, well, I'm not the big fish in the pond anymore. And I feel like that's what Mason Smith is. I feel like Mason Smith is, they have him. He was projected to go like, well, now at number 33. The last time I checked, right, he was projected to be the 33rd overall player. That's second round. Yeah, that's early second round. But I think now, with the way how Mason Smith hasn't been flashing, he might be a mid second round or even a third round uh, pick. And I think that personally, I think that he should come back next season to try to raise up his stock. Right, he'll get another opportunity to play against Alabama and play against Ole Miss. Um, two of the teams that we lost to, and obviously, there's no more Florida State, but LSU will be opening the season next year versus USC, and that's going to be a big game because although Caleb Williams was in the bleachers crying to his mom and dad, um, he's already said that if he doesn't get, um, if it's looking like he's going to get drafted to a crappy team, he might stay in college. So he might stay at USC, and that'll be an opportunity for Mason Smith to show the world if he can dominate versus USC. But yeah, Mason Smith is overrated. He's just a guy on the field wearing the number 0. Sorry, he's just a guy. He's just a jag. He's just a guy. Um, he's not a playmaker. He's not a real. He doesn't change the game, right? He's not a factor. If he's playing, he's not a factor, and if he's hurt, it doesn't matter. He's not a factor. Brian Kelly has to fire Matt House. As soon as the season's over with, soon as you know LSU win or lose the bowl game, hopefully win, we hear dun or whatever. However you get your news by LSU, Matt House has been let go. And Brian Kelly needs to go. He needs to go swinging for the fence for someone who can, one, recruit, and two, who can coach up a defense, right? And also Staples, the defensive back coach, he need to go too. He need to go. Go ahead and go. Get him the hell out of there. But find somebody who can coach defense, right? Coach the hell out of the defense, coach players up, make adjustments, and recruit, right? And that's what Brian Kelly needs to do. That needs to be priority number one soon as the season is over. Fire Matt House, find a defensive coordinator who can coach the hell out of these kids, make adjustments, recruit, and go from now. Because Matt House has showed his ass too many times during big games. Florida State wouldn't call Ole Miss a big game, but we lost that game, and they just threw they set a record on LSU for like total offense or some shit like that. So yes, Ole Miss and then Alabama, which was a close game. LSU offense was giving Nick Saban fits on that sideline, man. And then, you know, before Jaden Daniels got hurt, we wasn't stopping nobody. That was a big game. Can you imagine if Brian Kelly and his LSU team would have beat Nick Saban 2 years in a row? Can you imagine if they'd have beat him 2 years in a row? Man, they would have been calling for Nick Saban head. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So that's what needs to happen. But I just wanted to get on here and do a recap of the game on Saturday. Sorry I wasn't able to do it after the game on Saturday. And I was super busy yesterday, so I'll say let me go ahead and hop on here and do the recap today. But hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your likes, your comments, and your subscriptions to the channel really helps this channel grow. We're now over 200 subscribers. So I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the game, and what you think LSU needs to do moving forward. You know, to pretty much finish out the season on a strong note. Let me know in the comment sections below. Until next time, I'm out.